Hey guys, welcome. I am your host, Dina, and here I plan on sharing some of my personal stories. Now, some may make you cry, some may make you laugh. In fact, some may make you downright judge me. But no matter the reaction, I just hope that you gain some life lessons as well as some food for thought. So, welcome to Unscripted. All right, you guys, so here's the story for the day. Let me tell you about the time that I was actually, I'm gonna call it catfishing. So I was catfished before I knew what catfishing was. So this was perhaps freshman year in college. I came to Tampa, University of South Florida, go Bulls. And at that time, I want to say there was a social network that was called Black Planet. Okay, now I know that they're a little bit different now, but it was a social network, which in other words, this is where people met each other, try to hook up, try to date, try to see if they have a match or whatever. So and I think Black Planet probably came out like in 1999, so they were relatively new. And so I had found out about Black Planet. And a lot of people were like, oh, you should check it out and so forth. So I went online. Now, I had just started going to this church. And I know there's a lot of people from this church was in there. So I had to make sure that my profile was holy enough so that I didn't come across like a heathen, but slutty enough so if I wanted to get with a dude, they would know I'm down for it. Slutty enough, right? But you don't want to be like a whore, but a slut. Whatever words you want to use. So anyhow, I wanted to be appealing for what I wanted, but holy enough. Now make that make sense. It doesn't, I know, but make it make sense, right? In my mind, 18, 19, it made sense. So nonetheless, was going through Black Planet, and I saw this guy. I was like, oh, okay, he looked like a hood bruh, and I like dudes. That was my type of the guy. I'm a nerd for sure, but I like quote unquote bad boys, right? Downright. I like the type of guys that I was raised around, right? Guys in my neighborhood and so forth. Or really they were wannabes, but whatever. I always used to say that whatever guy I had, I wanted them to have a scar on their face. Like they've been through something. That's just how bad my thought was. So there goes a lesson. Be careful what you wish for, and ask yourself, why are you drawn to the type of people that you're drawn to? But nonetheless, so went on Black Planet. I'm trying to come across holy, but also freaky at the same time, right? And I ended up getting a couple of people who actually wanted to connect. Now, some people were actually from the church. And surprisingly enough, the holy part was not the reason why they wanted to connect. But nonetheless, but there was this one guy who wasn't in my church. So I want to make sure that was clear. He wasn't in my church, but this one guy reached out to me, and I like my dudes to be extra chocolatey. Like the more chocolate, the better, right? What they say, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So I like my dude really chocolatey. This guy was chocolate. He had like a white, t-shirt. He was posing next to a Cadillac. Now I like them old school caddies, and at that time, I mean, hood dudes, that was what they were known to drive. And he wasn't fine, but he wasn't ugly either. Like he wasn't He wasn't like those. He wasn't, you know, Denzel back in the day. Although Gladiator 2 poster, Denzel today look fine. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. But Denzel back in the day was just, oh my gosh, right? So he wasn't that, but he wasn't bad looking. So he reached out to me. He said, hey, you know, like to go out, and I said, sure, you know, let's go somewhere. And when we decided to actually go to the movies. And when we went to, well, the day that we decided to go, I want to say it wasn't a Saturday, so it was a Friday night. And at that time, I had lived in a student living apartment community. So I told him, meet me at the leasing office. So, you know, I wanted to be safe. I didn't want him to know exactly where I lived. So I said, hey, meet me in the leasing office, and, you know, you could pick me up there. Here's a life lesson. If you are able to have a mode of transportation on your own, do that. It is better to meet up somewhere as opposed to you having to be dependent on the person. And I'm going to tell you, when I tell you the rest of the story, you'll understand the why. But I thought I was trying to play it safe. I said, let's meet up at the leasing office. We'll meet up. You can take me to the movies, and we'll have a good time, and you can drop me home. We'll see where we go from there. So I went to the leasing office, and I see the Cadillac pulled up. And I said, okay, that's the Cadillac that I saw, you know, on Black Planet. That's a picture. All right. Check. Good job. Dude opened the door, got out, and I saw a white t-shirt. I'm like, okay, he must have a lot of white t-shirts, because, you know, that looked like the one that was in the picture. Okay, bet. You know, this is what I'm expecting. Neck down, I'm like, oh, okay, this the buddy, this the one I saw online. Neck up. I don't know what dude that was that came out of the car, right? But it wasn't the dude that I was expecting. Now, he was chocolate, extra chocolate. And so I had a problem with that. I'm like, yo, you chocolatey, beautiful. But your face don't quite match the face I saw on Black Planet. And as he approached, I'm like, he has similar features to the guy I saw on Black Planet, but it wasn't him. Surely this is his cousin. Surely he's coming to tell me that he's on his way, that such and such is on his way, etc. So he comes closer to me. He's like, hey, you're Ann, right? Yeah, because I look like what's on Black Planet. You don't. So pray tell, what's your name, sir? He's like, oh, I'm such and such. And the sad thing is I actually remember his name, but just in case he ends up watching this, I don't want to shame him too much. But baby, you were wrong for that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So at that moment, I had a decision to make. I had a decision to either back out, here's another lesson. I should have backed out. I should have went with my gut instinct and just backed out. But I really wanted to see the movie. I really did. And at that time, them overpriced movie popcorn, I mean, I couldn't resist, is my excuse. So I said, you know what? I got all dolled up. You know, I'm looking extra cute, okay? I took my time. I went to the store. I used my financial aid money to go get this little outfit because, you know, I'm a struggling student. So that financial aid money was important. I went and got this outfit for me not to go somewhere. No, we going to go somewhere because my homegirls wanted to go out to the club. And I said no because, you know, I got a date. And I was rubbing it in their face that I had a date and they did not. Stupid me. So I said I'm going to go on this date. So we went to the movie theater. And for those who live in New Tampa, okay, it's in that area right there. I think the restaurant was like TGIF and whatnot. So we went and parked, right? And while I was disappointed with what I saw, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get in this car and we're going to make our way over there. in the car, okay? In the car. If I saw one more cigarette butt, I wanted to take one and just burn his eye out, okay? And then there was a certain lighting. I don't know how I missed this. The amount of acne that this dude had. Now, listen, for someone, who struggle with acne, I get it. I get it. It is what it is. I didn't understand what I was looking at. I didn't understand it. But I was like, oh my gosh. And then he smiled. And I'm like, did he brush his teeth? Like, it was just, it went from bad to worse. And it reeked of cigarette because there was so many cigarette butts, to the point where I'm like, usually when you're first meeting somebody, you want to have a good first impression, right? So if you don't shower, that day you're going to shower. If you don't normally clean out your car, that day you're going to clean out your car. If you normally wear dirty drawers, that day is going to be clean. Maybe I just think differently, but I'm just like, hey, you're supposed to give a good first impression, especially if you think you're going to be going out with me, or if you think anything's going to happen with me. Like, bruh. So the fact that he didn't care enough about how he looked, how he carried himself, was a huge red flag that I ignored. Why? Because my pride did not want me to accept that this was just a bad situation. I wanted to go out. I got dolled up. And while I should have from the offset say, this right here is not going to happen, my pride would not allow me to get out that car just so I could have something to brag about later. And by the way, later never happened, because I sure enough never told my friends anything about the day. And when they came back to the house that night, hey girl, how did everything go? Oh girl, we went out, the movie was great, everything was about the movie. Girl, the movie was good. They people had me laughing, this and that, this, that. Well, how was he? Oh, he was human, like, he was a human being. And once I start saying 50 times, that means leave the subject. Let it go, because it wasn't what it was. Anyhow, so we drove to the movie theater. It took maybe about 15 minutes. That was like probably the worst 15 minutes of, you know what? I just lied. I was gonna say that was the worst 15 minutes of my life, but I didn't even tell you the rest of the story. So here's the rest of the story. So we parked, okay? Now we parked a distance. Now, listen, I've been big all my life. And I don't believe in sweating. I glisten. And I didn't want to glisten as I walk from, if you guys know that area or that movie theater, there's a restaurant, and I believe it was the TGIF. And it's at the opposite end of the parking lot. So it's a great distance between the restaurant and the movie theater. It was jam-packed because whatever movie we watched, it was opening weekend, okay? Which taught me, don't go, I don't have to keep up with the Joneses and with trends. I'd rather go a week or two after the movie came out than for me to go opening weekend. But nonetheless, it was a great distance. So I'm like, I'm wearing heels. Now, if you know me, I hate heels. My stylist gets on me all the time because she always calls me a boy.
Amen.
Because that's not an amen moment, Kiki. Okay? She always calls me a boy because I do not like wearing heels. And getting dolled up all the time, I like looking cute, don't get me wrong. But, all the time, she's a girly girl, I'm not. But nonetheless, I'm wearing heels, y'all. Heels. Trying to be all feminine and extra girly and whatever. Walking. So I'm already frustrated. I'm agitated. We go to the counter. How can I help you? Oh, I need to, so he's like, go ahead and place the order, whatever you want. Okay, well, I need 2 tickets for such movie. all right, it'll be such and such. And I had my student discount, which is why I thought he wanted me to go ahead and, tell them which movie we're watching and get the tickets. So I'm like, at that time, with the student discount, I think it was like $7 and some change, or maybe $10 max. Here you go. So I'm expecting him to pay. Oh man, I left my wallet in the car. Let me go get that. Hold on for one, ma'am. I'm gonna come back. Let me just go get my wallet out the car. Okay, and he's running. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna be back in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes pass. 6 minutes. 7 minutes. Now y'all know how long a minute is when you're not doing anything. We're at 7 minutes. And the lady said, ma'am, I'm so sorry. The line is long. Do you mind just moving to the side? And whenever he decides to come back, could purchase a ticket. My pride refused to let anyone see me get out of the line, to go to the back of the line, just to come back and purchase my ticket. Because what was not going to happen with my prideful Haitian self is you think I'm broke, okay? Even if I am, you ain't gonna know that I'm broke. Ma'am, here's your little $20, okay? Get your money, we're good to go, okay? It was as if through osmosis, this dude suddenly appeared after our ticket. Now, this is where I was foolish. I purchased both of our tickets, okay? Like out of nowhere, thin air, just boom, came, okay? And I'm like, oh, he's like, hey, he's like, hey, I got my wallet. So he shows me the wallet, okay? Didn't show me anything inside. I noticed he ain't opened the wallet, but he showed me the wallet, and he said, hey, okay, you ready to go purchase the ticket? I wanted to cuss him out. I really did, but I was trying to be ladylike. And I was like, maybe because it was a great distance, maybe that's why it took him forever. So myself foolishly ignored my gut instinct. See, these are lessons that you need to learn. Don't ignore your gut, your instincts, especially ladies. We got that keen instinct. Don't ignore it. But I came up with an excuse for him. Now, with all the people that I talk to, I find that we tend to make a lot of excuses for other people. So you got to be careful not to just make excuses for people. But anyhow, I was like, okay, maybe, it was a great distance. Maybe he had to search, through all them cigarette butts, for his stupid wallet, okay, fine. All right. So I said, hey, don't worry about it. I purchased for the both of us. We good. Okay. Well, let's go ahead. And so he said, let's go ahead and get some popcorn, some whatever. Okay, bet. No problem. Let's go ahead and go. So we go to the counter. I'm like, hi, how are you? I would like to order. I'm thinking, because I done watched so many movies that we're going to have a romantic moment. Why? I don't know. As if I didn't know what it really was. And the whole reason why we really was getting together. But I was like, okay, cool. Let's order one large bag of popcorn. Let's get a few candies and maybe two drinks and so forth. As opposed to you get your thing, I get my thing, or whatever. I'm like, no, we're just gonna get it together. We're gonna be so cute and put both of our hands together. And I don't know if his hand is sanitized or anything like that. We're gonna share this popcorn. We're gonna get all cozied up and watch the movie and whatever. Dumb, just dumb. Place the order, ma'am, because price of popcorn and all that other stuff. I don't know how it is now, since I really don't. I don't go to movies, but I don't know what the price is now. But back then, a doggone bag of popcorn, 2 drinks, and a few candy, it was like $150. So I'm like, okay, $150. Turned around. Ghost. Okay? Ghost. Don't see the dude. I'm like, am I bugging? I'm like, oh no, he did it. No, he did not. So I said, hey, sir, I'm so sorry. I'm going to modify my order. It's going to be one large bag of popcorn. Because my big tail can eat one large bag of popcorn. It's going to be one thing of soda. I'm going to keep these candies because I feel like by the end of the night, I'm going to need some comfort food. So I'm going to keep these boxes of candy. Paid for it. As soon, listen, no exaggeration. As soon as the man got the money, dude pops up. Again, through my sources, I'm just like, what's going on here? Pops up. Hey, okay, so what did you order? Okay, so how much is it going to be? I'm like, bro, where were you? I just went to the arcade. I wanted to look at what games they had. Because, you know, I know there's like a 20-minute wait time. I just want to see what games they have. As if you don't know what type of arcade games are at an arcade. Like, really? I looked at him. I'm like, this dude's playing me for a fool. Instead of voicing my opinion, I quiet. I grabbed my belongings and I went to the movie theater. He followed me. He's like, what's wrong? What's going on? Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, especially my fellas. Women hate when you play stupid. You knew what you did that really bothered us. And you turn around, like, what happened? What's going on? That's another story for another time. Because, I have some stories about that. But nonetheless, he wanted to play stupid, like, oh my gosh, like he's oblivious to, you know, what he just did and so forth. So we went to the movie theater. At this point, I'm upset because I did select the seat that's at the top row. We call that the makeout row. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, nobody's really around, or just whatever. So we go to the top row. Thank God, again, it was opening weekend for this movie. So that whole row was full. So ain't nothing gonna happen. We went up there and the dude had the audacity to act like he was going to put his nasty hand in my bag of popcorn. I saw this, and this is what he experienced. Let me tell you something, okay? I was so hot and so offended by his audacity. He's like, what's going on? We're not sharing? No, dude. You can get your trifling tail up. And you can go to the doggone vendor. And you go get the concession stand. And you go get your own food. I said, you're not going to try me up in here thinking that you're going to eat in my food. He said, why you got to be like that for? You know, we out on a date. We here trying to have a good time.
Not a date.
We out here on a date. And we're trying to have a good time. Sir, really? I watched the movie. I had a blast. The movie was wonderful. I laughed so hard. Even when they shot the man, I laughed. I think in my mind is what I wanted to happen to him in a moment. Not like really die or anything like that, but just with a BB gun or something, okay? Something. Because, oh my gosh. So, watching the movie. The dude had the nerve. It's the audacity, you guys. Here's a rule, or here's a lesson. Read the room. Read the room. I'm not in any mood of any kind other than I want to enjoy the movie and go home. This dude did pull one of these numbers. And as I saw the hand go up, because I knew he wasn't trying to praise Jesus, okay? I'm doing this. I'm ducking and ducking. Because what you're not going to do is think that you're going to put your arms around me. For what? Listen, child, reliving some of this stuff is getting me angry right now. Listen, for what? What you going to do? Get your nasty arm off. Listen, you know what I said. And at that time, I wasn't saved. So you really know what I said. And none of it was holy, okay? All right, so movie's over. I made sure, although I was full halfway through that doggone bag, I made sure I ate every every bit of it. I didn't want him to have anything. And in fact, I should have saved it just to watch him, have him watch me toss it out as opposed to giving it to him. I drunk every drop of that large soda. The candy I did put in my bag because I knew I was gonna need some comfort food later on when I thought about what I subjected myself to, because I had to remember I put myself in this situation from the offset. When he pulled up and I'm like, something ain't right, I should have said no. Hey, God bless. I should have threw some Jesus in there. Even though if I wasn't really serving Jesus at that time, I should have served Jesus, because that's usually a way out. I'm so sorry. Something in my spirit doesn't feel right. God bless you. You got to do that nice God bless you. Okay? You got to do one of them. What's that lady name? The Tabitha Brown. God bless you. You got to do one of those. Okay? Make sure your hand is up when you do it. So I should have done that. But no, I let my pride. I ignored my gut instinct just for a supposed good time. Now, while I did enjoy myself, because that movie was good. Let me tell you, that movie was really good. We got up. Although my point was, although the movie was good, I really shouldn't have stayed. But anyway, we got up and we went. He was huffing and puffing at this point, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Do you have asthma? Because you're breathing hard. I'm one of those people. Okay. You want to huff and puff? Let's talk about it. Okay. What you huffing and puffing for? You need pump? So anyhow, so he's huffing and puffing. It's like, man, you tripping. That was gonna have a good time. I said, oh, you didn't have a good time. You didn't like the movie. No, the movie was good, but you share your popcorn or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. Okay. Now the reason why I'm being nice, because I realized, again, struggling student. I'm living off of my financial aid. If this man don't take me home, how am I gonna get home? So I had to, in that moment, be kind, because I needed to get home. And my pride wouldn't allow me to call my friends from the club and say, hey girls, come pick me up. Okay? Which is another lesson. Always be prepared. Be prepared for the unexpected. If you're going to go out with somebody, make sure that you have enough cash in hand, so that if you have to Uber or Lyft or whatever you have to do, that you are prepared for it, okay? And even if it was a good date, what if his car broke down? What if he had a busted tire? Yeah, you may expect him to have it all together and so forth, but hey, life happens. So you want to make sure that you have what you need as well, so that you can make it home. So nonetheless, got back into his little funky little car with all them cigarette butts, dreading my life, because I'm like, Lord, how did I get here? Probably because I didn't pray at that time. But anyhow, got home. He said, hey, you want me to drop you off for your door? No, you can drop me right in front of the leasing office where you found me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Because my plan was to walk the opposite way from my place. So again, he doesn't know where I live. That dude got out the car when we got to my place, to my community. I opened my door, got out the car. He got out the car, and he wanted to hug me. Now, in my naivete, I actually gave him a hug. I was like, but I was gonna give him one of those church hugs, them little side hug where your booty all out. So your chest and his chest are not connected. It need to be spaced. I was giving him that. Okay? Did that. Dude, I don't know where he got the strength of Samson. Just squeezed me in. Now mind you, I'm a big girl. Never been small. Okay? Squeeze me in. I'm like, okay. And proceeded, bad breath and all, to try to kiss me. Girl, the matrix that came out of me that day, okay? Before the matrix came out, listen, they took the matrix idea from me. That whole move from me. Because I'm, baby, when I tell you, I was the queen of that. You're not gonna catch me. I'm like, hey, bruh. So I did my matrix, put my hand up. Hey, bruh, what do you think you're doing? No. He's like, well, I don't get no kiss, no nothing. No, you could get to go home without me kicking you the way my brothers taught me how to kick a guy. After this terrible day. So right now, I can talk all the trash I want to because I'm home. Okay? I can talk all the mess I want to. Man, I can't believe you saying this and that. You beep, 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 beep. And so we had a screaming match. Yeah. This is how far it went. We had a screaming match. I'm bleeping him. He bleeping me. This and that. To the point where I don't know if it's the Haitian side, the woman's side, the crazy side. I don't know. I took a rock. And I wanted to have a David and Goliath moment where I just, right here, I was aiming there, okay? And those who know me know I got a good aim. I hit that man right there. Thank God nothing crazy happened. But in my mind, I'm like, directly across the street is a hospital. He'll be all right. Because what you're not going to do is bleep, 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 bleep me and threaten me and not think I'm not going to find a rock or something to protect myself. So hit him and I ran. I just, boom. Listen, I was like, I hope he make it safe. I hope he's alive, something, but I'm not going to find out. Hit him. All I saw him do this. Boom, beep, beep, beep. I'm running at this point. Luckily, I did see him get in his car. Or no, I didn't see him get in his car, but I saw his car drive off. So in my mind, he was safe. God bless him. I went home and I told myself, I will never do that again. Listen, I have never, ever been on a blind date ever since. I think that was the last time. Oh no, that wasn't the last time I went on Black Planet. I think I went on Black Planet one more time. But I've never ever done that again. And I know some people, they meet online and it's beautiful, it's great for them. But for me, for Dina, that doesn't work for me. But make sure if you do, that you are safe, that you are prepared, and that you are prepared for the unexpected. But most importantly, follow your gut instinct. Because I could have died that day. I didn't know this dude from Adam. I could have died that day. But I'm grateful that God protected me. All right, so this is today's episode of Unscripted. I can't wait for you to hear next week's story. In the meantime, share this with all your friends. God bless.